Yo, dudes! So, actually, I'll turn this off. You think I'd come prepared, wouldn't you? Don't, please excuse your hair. It's been locked down and it is crazy. Right, so today, this is the first episode that I have ever done on podcasting.co.uk. Obviously, I've done the intro first of all, but from now on, what I'm going to do is document everything that is happening. I've got a fly flying around everywhere. Right, so I'm going to document my whole journey. The idea is that we're going to reach 1 million downloads per month, and I have joined every single course I possibly can do. I've got private mentoring from podcast experts. You name it, I am doing it. So I'm going to share everything I learn here, and hopefully you're going to see me grow my podcast from zero, well, nearly zero, because this is nearly 3 months in now, up to 1 million downloads per month. That's the idea. Anyway, so today, it's kind of an anomaly that I want to talk about. So if you see here, and don't judge, by the way, how many emails I've got and how many, I'm in Sam Ovens' course, and he says, anybody who has loads of tabs open, I just don't listen to them because they're not very organised and this and that and the other. And I'm like, oh, shoot. I don't know if I can swear on here or not. Right, so basically, here we go. This is what I want to share today. So yesterday, if you look at the graph here, let's see what, I'll just put that over there. It was 267. 267, not a good day whatsoever. You can see it's probably, that was on a weekend, so I don't really count weekends. I do a daily episode, by the way. So 267 was one of the worst days for some time, since the 16th of May, and it was the 28th of May. And that, obviously, I was not down or depressed or anything, but obviously I started thinking, what the heck's happening? Why is it so bad? And then when I turned on the computer this morning, I'm one of these people who keep checking and checking and checking and checking. And so I turned it on this morning at, well, I get up at 5 o'clock, but this was at 3 o'clock because obviously we're a couple of hours behind on Libsyn. And so I checked here and I had 148 downloads at 3 o'clock in the morning. And if you look here as well, I had a really bad day here, and then it shot up again. I had a bad day here, shot up. Bad day, and here it is so far already. We're already nearly 500 downloads today, and it's not even 5 o'clock, which is mental considering we only had 263 yesterday. So this is what I wanted to show you today. This is what I have. What I want to do is I want to show you what I've learned, etc. Every day is going to be a learning. I'm going to document something every day. Obviously, this is my first recording. Hopefully, it'll get better. But the idea is just to be authentic and honest with you guys. And so I'm going to try and give you my takeaway, what I've learned, etc. But the one thing I want to show today is that I don't know where these listeners came. I can't show you in here, but it was only like 3 o'clock in the morning on Libsyn. So where the heck have these come? It wasn't, my episode gets released at 3 o'clock in the morning, today's episode. That wasn't even released, so there wasn't any downloads in that 148 at 3 o'clock in the morning of those. None of those was downloaded at all. So it was really interesting. So I thought I want to share that at 3 o'clock in the morning. I've never had them sort of results. So it'll be interesting to share with you tomorrow what actually happened at this time tomorrow. It's Friday evening now, 29th of May. So it'll be interesting to see if I have the same sort of downloads again tomorrow morning. I would suspect not, because I have seen this happen before, and it's been when they've been having a big drop off. And I don't know if it's something to do with Libsyn, the fact that they haven't correctly like here, they haven't actually correctly registered all the downloads, and therefore they're just playing catch up, and they're putting yesterday's downloads on today. I suspect that could be it, but again, I don't know. So it's just going to be interesting. I want to highlight that anyway. So get rid of that. Today we have 467. I've got 2 flies around me now. So we've had 467 downloads today so far, and it is 4:10 p.m., which is pretty good. It's going to be our best day ever today. And I know there's a big spike there, but we had 2 episodes releasing that day. So 628, which you can take away maybe 160 of those, because if you look here, 2 episodes released, so you can take away 171 or 177 from that. And so we haven't had a day, excluding that day, over 500 downloads. Today we will hit over 500 downloads, which is something that I'm really, really excited for, and something I really wanted to hit for a long time. As you can see here, this is where we first started off. And then, oh my goodness. And then, as you can see, just a little journey. we had a problem with Libsyn there. For some reason, it didn't upload any episodes, and then we had a bit of a spike there because people were listening to more episodes because they didn't listen to them episodes. It's a daily podcast as well. We got down to 80-something here, 83 episodes on April the 9th, 83 downloads, and I was like, oh no, this is terrible. And then we got up to 152. And so you can see there's been a gradual growth of the podcast. And I'm going to share with you exactly what's happened because we have used some paid for advertising as well to get this podcast rocking and rolling. If we look at the weekly, this gives you a bit of a better overview. Started off with a bit of a bang, my social media really. And then it steadily went down and then steadily started climbing up again. And then we can see a big spike here. But I'll go through that. There was some advertising from here to there. So 2992. There's no way this week we're going to hit 2992, which is a bit disappointing. So we're going to see a little bit of a fall. I am changing it. At the minute it's called Motivate Me, but I am changing it to Motivated Entrepreneur, and I'll do a separate episode explaining why that, because I don't want to bore you too much. The idea of these daily episodes is they're only supposed to last 2 minutes, and here we are already 6 minutes in, and I'm just blah, 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 blah. You'll get used to me, I promise you. This is what I'm like on the podcast. And if we look at the monthly, super excited for this one here. We will hit now 10,000 downloads in the month. For the third month of launch, we will hit 10,000 downloads. I'm super proud about that. Next month, in June, I want to hit 20,000 downloads. I'll tell you what. There you go. Hey! I want to hit 20,000 downloads. That is the aim, and that is what the goal is for June. And we'll see. I'm going to try and put some marketing spend. I think a podcast like a bucket. And so if you try to put more water in, the listeners, put more water in. The problem is if your podcast isn't perfect, you will have leaks, you will have holes where the listeners will filter through and you will lose them. So what you need to do before you start putting real money behind it, you need to make sure that you haven't got a holy bucket. So your podcast is as good as it possibly can be. So hopefully there's going to be improvements made all the way. I'm going to start interviewing people as well, and it's going to change from the demographic of what I'm looking for right now. I believe my avatar is a little bit. He's starting on his journey, his entrepreneurial journey, and I've had so many messages from people who want advice and help, who are just starting. The problem is, I'm not the person to take somebody from zero to whatever, in terms of marketing, all the things I consider myself fairly good at. I'm not that person to start somebody off. I need to see somebody who has already started their entrepreneurial journey, where I can help them, who are already reading books, who are already educating themselves, who are already got a product or got an online course or software or something. Then I can hopefully give advice out to, and hopefully the episodes will make more sense to them sort of people. So we're going to change it up a little bit, and we're going to go more into an entrepreneurial podcast and a business-minded podcast, and reviewing books and stuff and speaking to entrepreneurs. I'm super excited about that. I can't wait to be able to start talking to entrepreneurs and asking them. Yeah, I've got some questions to ask him. I've got loads written down, but start by saying what the struggles in the business right now, not what the struggles used to be and how they've elevated themselves. What are your struggles right now? What are the things that that motivates you? Why do you get up in the morning? What is your why? There's so many things I want to talk to him about, so I'm super excited. I've got some amazing guests lined up already. 8 minutes already. Boy, I can talk. I'm going to try and keep these podcasts down to a minimum. I'm going to say something. I'm going to just 2-minute podcast. Excuse me, super professional. I'm going to start being 2 minutes podcast, and a video episode will be about 2 minutes. That's the idea anyway. And if you look at yesterday's, so let's just go back to daily. What I like doing here is, for me, because I do a daily episode, 159, don't worry about your critics. That was yesterday's episode. 159, that tells me that episode didn't really hit with my audience because only 159 people downloaded it. And if you look here, 359, 182. So we had 182 listeners on the day that was launched. Today is a gift. And today's episode, we've got 140 already. You can tell that really wasn't a hit. Don't worry about the critics because there's only been 175 and it's a day old. Let's have a look. 180, your mind controls your body. So that was a success. What else? 160, standing up for your beliefs, semi-success-ish. Let's have a look here. 493. 170 challenge of a week. Challenge of a week are a bit hit and miss. Appreciate the people. Don't know what that says around you. It's a long time since I recorded that episode. 166. Constant little changes equal massive results. That is true, actually. It's the little things that you do that make the big, that give you the big success, and it's been consistent over them little changing, doing the right things. Consistent will give you huge results. There's a great book on that. Can't remember it. Sorry. I'll make my notes better for these episodes, I promise you. You're a direct reflection of your peer group. Had some really good responses about that, actually. So people have got in contact with me about that one. So 168. So they're how I measure how well and if the episode hits. Let's have a look just to give you some idea on how successful some of these podcasts have been. Do you know what? This episode here, The Hangover Effect, this happened here. Somewhere around here. So a lot of people didn't get a chance to listen to that one. I might re-release it or re-record it because it's from a guy called Matthew Hussey. And it was a fantastic. I thought it was a fantastic episode. I really thought it resonated with some people. But 102, even now 102, it's the worst performing episode we've ever had. But I do think it's because of something to do with the time there that it was released, and most people haven't seen it yet. And if we have a look at the best performing one, 420, the introduction, my biggest failure in life. What is wrong with people? Why do people want to listen to that? People love that sort of content. The great thing is here, you can see these ones here. Obviously, the ones that have been released a long time ago have got good downloads. However, look at these 78, 77, 79, 82, 88, 81. So that one there was a massive success because it hasn't been released that long, and it's already within the top 10 of podcasts that have been downloaded in the history of this of the show. So it's really, really good. Anyway, that's the introduction. Hopefully I haven't bored you too much. I'll be trying to be more concise and give you more value in these episodes. It's just, ultimately, this is just me documenting my journey every single day to show you what works and what doesn't in the podcasting world. And like I say, I am in every podcast group on Facebook. It's just taken over my life. People who know me will know that I listen to an ungodly amount of podcasts. I've always got these things on because I'm constantly listening. I probably listen to 5 hours of content a day on at least double speed on podcasts, and it is 3 times speed or 2.5 speed on Audible, depending on the book and the narrator. I just love it. I love the content. I'm lucky enough to be in a business. I'm into self-storage. I'm lucky enough that my business doesn't need me. I just look at the overview and just know that from the data, the KPIs that I get, what area that I need to start looking at of a business, and once something drops below a level, that's when I start looking at it or telling other people to look at it. So I really don't do much in that business. I basically set up a structure. That's what I do, and then I learn the rest of the week. The rest of my time is just learning and creating courses, or I want to start creating courses. And that's how I spend my time. And taking other people's courses, basically spending like £50,000 a year on bloody courses. But I love it. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're still listening now, you are a glutton for punishment, but I appreciate you. And let me know if you've got any questions whatsoever. I can do a question and answers as well. Been podcasting now. I've got 2 other podcasts. I've nearly had 1 million downloads, over 1,000 episodes. So I am pretty experienced. And by the way, when I say experienced, I don't mean know-it-all, because there's certain areas I just give to my VA or outsource to other people, because I'm more interested in creating the content than maybe setting up a podcast with all the RSS feeds and stuff, but and where to put them and everything like that. But I've got all the SOPs that my virtual assistant does. So if you've got any questions, please let me know. And not saying that I know all the answers, but if I don't know them, then I can certainly research and get back to you. But yeah, I want to help everybody grow the podcast because I think it's an amazing platform, medium, and it's changed my life. It's allowed me to speak on stages like in Vegas, for the European Self-Storage Conference as well. I've even spoken at the Emirates Stadium, which was amazing. So yeah, it's opened the doors. I've been allowed to speak to people in the self-storage industry that I'd never, ever, ever get a chance to speak to. In the entrepreneurial world, I've been in contact with some amazing people that I would never ever think I would normally be able to talk to, and now I'm lining them up to go on the podcast. It's Podcasting is massive and we're still at the very, very early stage. This is the time to get involved in podcasting. I can't emphasize that enough. Podcasting is amazing and you will be successful. You can be successful if you just follow a proven system that hopefully I'm going to prove and outline in this. So enjoy. Right, let me know if you've got any questions. I don't know, there should be some comment section or something. I have no idea. Right, I'm going home for tea. Speak to you later. Bye-bye.